Alright, what is going on, everybody? Iced Crab here today, back with a brand new video. In today's video, we're doing the review of the Black Ops 7 beta. This video is coming out on Friday. I am recording it on Wednesday, the last day of the Call of Duty beta for Black Ops 7. I wrote down a bunch of thoughts that I had about the game in general, the multiplayer, the zombies, and some thoughts I have going forward about the CDL I would like to see in the Call of Duty League coming up this next season. The beta just concluded. It was not quite a week long. Pretty cool. I'm not going to lie, but it wasn't blowing me away cool. You know, they had some interesting things. We're going to get into it, but ultimately, I kind of felt mixed about the whole thing. Let's just not spare too much time here, and let's talk about it. Let's see what has been going on. So first, I want to say on day one, the launch was absolutely terrible. There were constant crashes. I wasn't even able to get in and enjoy the game itself. It was a mess. Totally just garbage, basically. I was launching the game, and each time it would be a little bit longer. So I launched the game, and then you launch the COD menu, and then you select Black Ops 7 beta, and then it crashes. So then I boot it up again, launch the Black Ops 7 beta, it pulls up, can't do anything, crashes, and each time it's just like I went a little bit further. So the third time I booted up, I was able to get to the menu, and then it crashed, and then I was able to hit the matchmaking, and then it crashed again. Like it was ridiculous on day one. I didn't even get to play. I'm being so honest right now. I had some help. I looked at it. I thought maybe it was my computer. Maybe there was something going on there. It wasn't able to work. Some people did get the opportunity to play on that day one, but I wasn't able to until day two. So when day two rolls around, I booted up again. Things seem fine. It works just fine on day two for the most part. So the game runs itself on day two and on from then on until today on Wednesday. So since then I've been playing. So I basically missed all of day one because of whatever those startup issues were. I still have no idea, no answers on that. But once it started working, we got in there, and man, do I have some stuff to say. Fortunately, this video is going to be a little bit more structured than the earlier videos I did with the Battlefield 6. And the reason it's going to be more structured than my Battlefield 6 video is because I'm a COD guy at the end of the day. I know Call of Duty. I've been playing it for a long time. And so I'm more familiar with what goes into a Call of Duty game and like the history of the Call of Duty games and how I can compare them to other games and things like that, and how it should feel and how it should be. I don't really have the same opinions here on the Battlefield 6 because I didn't play a lot of Battlefield growing up. I only played a little bit here and there, and it wasn't really enough to capture kind of the feel and vibe of Battlefield outside of bigger maps and more strategic, combat and things like that. So anyway, let's jump right in here. So we broke it down into the area. So that was basically all I had to say about the game. We have multiplayer, zombies, and CDL like thoughts. Quickly for the multiplayer, after I was able to actually run the game and play it, the matchmaking felt pretty good. Of course, we did have the open beta. So the open matchmaking was brought in by Activision a couple days into the beta, which is really cool. A big complaint that the Call of Duty community has been having has been skill-based matchmaking. They hate skill-based matchmaking in the basic game. Now, in ranked, it makes sense because in ranked, you're actually comparing your skill to the skill of the other players, whereas in pubs or public matches, it really should just be a connection-based matchmaking for the most part, because you want to be able to play the game properly, not have skill be a huge factor, only because this is for randoms, this is for everybody. This is not like a competitive side of the game, whereas a ranked mode makes a lot of sense. You'll be comparing skill, trying to level up that way. But what Call of Duty's been doing for a while now is having your a skill marker, so each player tag is designated some kind of number, and you kind of pair with other people of the same skill number, which you can't see, by the way. You don't know what your skill number is. And then if you start doing really good, the game will give you more points in this arbitrary category, and then they put you with guys who are insanely good, and then you get destroyed, and then you go back down. You'll lose a couple games, and then you'll win one, and then you'll lose a couple games, and then you'll win a couple games. You know, it's kind of this weird back and forth versus the open matchmaking, which is just as long as you can connect to the match, you're in, and whoever is there is there. If they're better than you, worse than you, doesn't matter. And that's the preferred way for Call of Duty, because connection is the most important thing, especially with these online games, because bad connection can totally ruin your day. And if your skill level is at a point where there's not a lot of people that can connect to the server very well, but they're all your skill level, you're gonna have a horrible time. And that's the time I had in Black Ops 6, quite honestly. I mean, I was gonna make a video about that. You can see in my my return to return to YouTube video, we had some Black Ops 6 gameplay in the back, and I played through huge matchmaking issues, connection issues, but part of that also was the PC. So now we're rocking a brand new PC. That's going to be the same for the Battlefield 6 beta. So I was playing on an older PC for that, and after that experience, I thought, okay, I need to go out and get myself a new computer, and I did. And so that's gonna be huge for both the connection and just the quality of the feel of the game. It's gonna improve a lot because my machine's a lot better than it was, especially for the beta. But with that said, I did say in my review video back then, or of the Battlefield beta, that I would be getting Battlefield if I got a new PC, and I did get a new PC, so I will be getting Battlefield. We will be seeing some Battlefield gameplay here and there on the channel, just because I think that's what I'll be playing in the meantime while we're going through some of the Let's Plays and things like that. So anytime I have these kind of update videos, these random videos, we might have Battlefield in the background. We will see. So anyway, the matchmaking feels good, but I still did have some connection issues, less, I will admit, than when I played Black Ops 6, but they happen, you know. I still have them. This computer is better at receiving internet. I didn't even know that was a thing, I'm going to be honest with you, than my previous computer. So I do have better connection in general on my end, but there was still some connection issues in game, even though there, in my opinion, shouldn't have been with the new tech that I've been running. Some more thoughts. The best play cam, which replaced the kill cam quite a while ago, kind of the what do you see at the end of the game? Are you seeing the last kill that happened that might have had a real effect on the game, or are you seeing the best play from the match that is generated by some kind of algorithm? And I tell you what, it's still broken. I mean, I saw a couple times where the best play didn't even show anything happening. It was just like just still of the ground, like some random spot in the map, and that was the best play. Like nothing actually happened in the cam itself. And then there was other times where it was clearly not the best play of the game. Like it was like one guy just gets a kill and then keeps moving. It's like that was obviously not the best play. Somebody got a two-piece in here somewhere. Somebody did something else. So and the best play cam has never worked properly, and it still hasn't. This is an issue that has not been fixed yet in Call of Duty, and I'm kind of disappointed about that. It's kind of frustrating and not that interesting. The only good thing I can say about best play is when it does work, it's kind of fun when you're with your buddies and stuff to try and get the best play. So you're kind of like, oh shoot, I just got like a 4-piece, I'm definitely going to get it. And then some random, gets it because, he threw a stun grenade before he got his 4-piece. Some things like that, But it creates a good challenge to try and get cool plays. But other than that, it's still broken and not really good. And I would prefer going back to the final kill cam, especially because that can have an impact, especially when you're playing things like S&D or Gun Game or things like that, which weren't in the beta. Well, S&D was in the beta, Gun Game wasn't, of course. Anyway. Let's move on to some of the more feature side of the multiplayer. This is the stuff that is new to Black Ops 7 more specifically, and that's going to be the new movement system. There's a lot more jumping around. You can do wall jumps and stuff. It almost feels like a little Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, but you can't you don't boost jump. You run and then you can jump off walls and stuff and almost ping pong around the map to some extent. And I'll be honest, it was not fun. It was not fun to play. Once you start to get the hang of it, it's a little more interesting, and it will be interesting to see in the pros how they're going to use the new movement system. But I did not like it. I thought it was kind of janky. It didn't always do what you wanted. You can't recover if you bounce off a wall and there's a pit down there. You're kind of cooked. So like I see what it is, and in terms of like the timeline of the Black Ops games, you do need to have one between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 4 that kind of like bridge the gap, but like I still didn't like it that much. So I can understand the mechanic from a war perspective. I still don't think the movement in terms of a gameplay feel was very good, and I didn't really like that. Outside of the wall jumping, it's just Black Ops 6 movement, which I mean was okay. It was definitely interesting a year ago, but I don't know if it needs to be a mainstay. We also heard that the next Call of Duty game for next year, Call of Duty, we're thinking Modern Warfare 4. I really hope they change the name and do something else. I don't want to play Modern Warfare 4. I want to play something else. But assuming that they go with Modern Warfare 4, they confirm that it will not have the Omni movement system, and it will not have wall bouncing and all that stuff. So, continuing here, we have a new game mode. I believe it's a new game mode. I don't remember it being in recent games, though it could have been in the last couple seasons of Black Ops 6. Obviously, I wasn't playing Black Ops 6. So the Overload, it's called Overload. It's basically Uplink and Blitz from Ghosts mashed together. So there's a thing called the device, and it spawns either on the center, the left side, or the right side of the map. And you basically, each team has 2 goals they have to defend, and the opposing team or your team has to take the device and score on the opposing team's goals, one or the other, to get a point. And it's the first to 4 is halftime, and then there's first to 8 is game winner. So it's kind of like Uplink in the sense that there's like an objective, like we call it the ball or the device that you have to go get in the middle of the map, and you have to score on the other team. So that's kind of like Uplink, and then it's kind of like Blitz, because Blitz had like those ring goals, and you had to like slide into them. One thing about this game mode that I wish they brought over from Blitz is when you score, you shouldn't stay at the enemy goal. You should bounce. You should like spawn again at your own goal. I think that would be cooler, a little more interesting, because like getting to the goal with the device, as soon as you get it, you're basically dead, because like that's the enemy spawn, and they're gonna come shoot you, and your streaks or whatever, any score points that you've gotten from going to get the goal towards your streaks are basically cooked, because you're just going to get shot right away. So it kind of defeats the purpose, I think. And I think if you were able to like jump back to your own goal, kind of like the teleport system like they had in Blitz, that would be awesome. That'd be the perfect fix for what's going on. And I don't think it would mess up the balancing of the game too much. It would also allow teams to focus less on going and defending a guy that's in their goal from scoring, and more on pushing the objective, which would make the games more exciting. Alright, so we when I wrote these notes, it said maps are mixed bag, 2 good maps, 2 bad maps. We did get 2 more maps, and so the change is actually going to be there are 2 good maps, 2 mid maps, and 2 bad maps. So, well, quite honestly, like the maps were okay. I mean, so the map Forge, which is the one that you're going to be seeing the most today, was my best map. It was the one where I got most of my best gameplays on. There's also Cortex, I thought was really good. And then we also had Blackheart, which was okay, but I'll be honest, I really struggled to get a good team when I was playing that game mode. Every time my team would just be completely terrible, and we would get absolutely destroyed no matter how like sweaty I tried to be in the game. There was just nothing I could do. So I did get one good game of that on footage. Finally, there was Toshin, I think that's what it's called. That was a pretty cool map, kind of interesting. I saw the streamers playing that one a lot. I like that map for what it's worth, but it's kind of hard to understand the layout of that map, because there was a part of it where there was like you're outside the battle space, but the area above you was inside the battle space, and that kind of was confusing to me. I don't know why they did it that way. Let's see, we also had the other 2 were the bad ones. That's why I can't remember their name. Real quick, I'm just gonna look them up.
Leads ours. Stay on task. Securing Charlie.
Let's.
All locations are ours. Hell yeah. Losing B.
Oh, where are these guys?
They're taking C.
Alright, here we go. So Blackheart, that was good. Toshin, that was good. Forge, that was good. Cortex was good. Also, I feel like Forge is the best map. We'll talk about that more in the Black Ops, the CDL portion of the game. Cortex Exposure was bad. That one I called that one the Mars map. I don't actually know if it's on Mars. It kind of looks like it's on just like in the desert somewhere. But I did not like that one at all. Like it was okay, but I didn't like it. I just didn't think it was that good. And then of course there's Imprint, which is the worst map. It was just terrible. I did not like those bottom two maps, but the other ones were okay. They weren't too bad. It wasn't so much that I had like bad games on those maps. I just didn't feel like the layout was very good. I felt that Exposure was too big. It didn't really have enough stuff around the outside of the map. It was all kind of congested onto the inside, and then some people would run on those outside lanes to try and get there. And then Imprint was just terrible all around. I just really didn't like that map. They were trying to do some kind of like movement with that map, so parts of the map that were dynamic, but I just didn't like the layout, the colors. I mean, it was just kind of a bland, boring one, so kind of disappointed about that. The rest of them I thought were pretty cool, especially with their like color. I suppose Forge isn't the best. It's kind of bland, but the gameplay itself, it played really well, especially pretty much every game mode actually it played pretty well. And then Blackheart, I feel like Blackheart will be more interesting when everybody starts to master the movement. It gets really good at that. But for now, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the other ones, but it was definitely better than the bottom two. In terms of some of the stuff in the game that's new, so there were a couple things that I felt were unbalanced in the beta. Specifically, the drone pod, which is like it's a piece of equipment that you can throw down, and then it would release like drones that would like fly out and go blow up on people and like kill them. But it didn't only release one. Like one would make sense. Like a grenade, you know, you get it one time, you know, you get out there. It had like 4 or 6 drones on it, so it could potentially get up to like 5 or 6 kills as a piece of equipment, which I thought was kind of insane. I don't actually know how many drones it had, but it had more than one. I think it had 4, maybe 6. It could have been an overclock too. There was this interesting overclock system which allowed you to kind of like make the score streak better, and I don't really know how all that worked, but it was kind of interesting. And I didn't play with it too much. I didn't focus on it too much during the beta, but it was something worth considering and looking into when that stuff comes out, or if you're interested in it, like looking at some other videos to see what they thought about it, because I didn't really notice much of an impact for those things during the actual game. The next thing we had was the pinpoint turret. In a similar vein, this was also a piece of equipment you could just throw out, and it was basically like a little pistol with a laser on it that would just shoot enemies. In zombies, this was kind of good piece of equipment, but in multiplayer, it was kind of really annoying because it's a small little thing that was killing you, and trying to shoot at and focus on that while you're trying to manage the other stuff in the game wasn't very fun, I'll be honest. So the pinpoint turret, a little unbalanced there, and the dog I felt was like kind of unbalanced. So this took like 11 kills to get, I think 10 or 11, but it was basically kind of like the ASD drone from Black Ops 2. It was just it's a remote control like robot that looks like a dog, and it runs around and shoots you with like a grenade launcher and a minigun or something like that. And the thing about this that made it unbalanced was how much armor it had. It took forever to take one of these down, and it could totally wreck your night. And so when somebody got one of those in, it became like a, oh no, like we're cooked, like we might be cooked here. And the thing is, for a 10 kill streak, like that's not a lot to have a game-changing thing like the dog, I felt. So I think maybe like drop some of the health on the dog just a little bit. So if you could like drop a whole mag in that guy, it should be pretty much cooked. It shouldn't take like 2 or 3 magazines of Peacekeeper to take out the dog. I thought it was a little bit too powerful in terms of the armor. There's another piece of equipment that I want to talk about that didn't write down here. Let's see. It's slipping my mind on that other piece of equipment. That's why it's important to take notes, everybody, when you're making things about the game. But anyway, let's jump into some of the other stuff here. So the new guns for Black Ops 7 I'm comparing them to the old guns that were also in the game. So we had the Peacekeeper from Black Ops 2, and we had the M8A1 from Black Ops 2. However, we didn't have really much any of the other ones. There were some guns that kind of resembled their Black Ops 2 counterparts, but had different names, as particularly the snipers. So I was just focusing on the Peacekeeper, and the M8A1 are way better than the rest of the guns in the game. Maybe not way better, but I felt significantly advantaged by having these. Peacekeeper was easily my favorite in the beta. It's the one I used. Like, I maxed this guy out like day one of having it. Definitely my favorite gun. So I have it in my notes. It clears as the best gun in Black Ops 7, and that's funny because I didn't really use the Peacekeeper in Black Ops 2. It didn't really feel like a huge game changer in Black Ops 2. You know, we had the MSMC, we had the AN94, we had plenty of equipment to use in Black Ops 2. But for this one, I just felt the Peacekeeper like overshadowed everything else because it was light, it was mobile, but it was still an AR, so it got some range on there, and it was like powerful enough. It was fully automatic. There's all these things that were just like, yes, this gun is just it shoots a little quicker than the other ones did, the other ARs, and even the SMGs. It shot faster than the SMGs. So for me, the Peacekeeper was the obvious choice. I mean, not to say the other guns were bad necessarily. I saw a lot of them running around the map, and eventually I started to branch out and use some of the other stuff. But at least early in the beta, the Peacekeeper was just so dominant that I used it far more than any of the other equipment.
Have the overload device.
And the last thing I have in here for the multiplayer notes really is that there's a glitch. So there's the same glitch going on with the game mode display. It's still in Black Ops 7. Basically, you join a lobby, and the lobby says, you know, oh, you're gonna play Forge Team Deathmatch, and okay, that's good. Here we go into the game, and then we get into the game, and it's Forge, you know, Hardpoint, or it's Forge Kill Confirm, and it's like, well, wait a minute, I thought I was loading into a Team Deathmatch. This is obviously not a Team Deathmatch. This is a totally different game mode. So that still existed in this game. This is an issue been going on for a little while, where it'll show you one game mode, you'll get in there, and it's a totally different one. In the beta, that's more annoying than it is in the full game, because in the full game you can kind of select which game mode you like to play. So you're ideally always playing a game mode that you'd like to play. But in the beta, that kind of sucks, because if you're like, well, I don't really want to play, you know, Kill Confirmed, not really a Kill Confirmed guy, and you think you're jumping into a hard point and you get a Kill Confirmed, then you're like, well, that sucks. So that's that. I'm thinking right now, let's jump into the CDL stuff. So I'm going to skip zombies. I'm going to save that for the end here. I'm going to jump, because that's quick. That's not going to take too long. So we're going to jump into the CDL stuff, because that's also kind of like built into this multiplayer mindset, which is kind of the focus of this video, for being honest. So what we have with the CDL is, first thing is, I hope Overload, so this game mode that's kind of like Uplink and Blitz, takes over control as the second respawn mode in professional Call of Duty. I think that would be a huge plus to the Call of Duty scene. Nobody likes control. I understand why control exists, because it's kind of a mix of all the other game modes that were, you know, secondary game modes. It's kind of a mix of hardpoint, domination, in a way, search, some of these other, you know, game modes from earlier like Call of Duty, professional Call of Duty eras. It's kind of a nice mix. It kind of like blends everything, because you have limited lives, but you also have respawn, but you also have objectives that you have to capture the point of for a certain period of time, but there's also multiple of them, so at the same time. So there's kind of like a lot of things going on with control. But I like Overload so much better. I think it'd be so much more exciting. I also think it offers CDL a good opportunity to mix it up. Finally, please mix it up. I don't want to continue watching the same thing, and Control is obviously the worst game mode. Everybody loves Hardpoint. Everybody loves Search and Destroy. Nobody loves Control, okay? That's all I'm saying. So I hope Overload takes over as the second respawn mode, at least just for this year. Just give me something. I also thought that Cortex, the map Cortex, it's the one with the red like vats inside the building there. I hope that one will be a really fun hardpoint map in the pros. I feel like It was small, and there's a lot of interesting ways to attack each of the objectives. There were obvious money hills and obvious like hills that were a lot more competitive. So I think that'd be a fun one for CDL Hardpoint. Also Forge, my favorite map. I think it would be really good for Search and Destroy and Overload. I did get the opportunity to play it on Search and Destroy once. I did not do good. I never went back to Search and Destroy. So that was definitely something I played a lot less of, but I still think once we get into the swing of things for the season, I think if Forge is in the rotation, which it definitely should be, it'd be really entertaining to watch Overload and S&D on that one. And then my last point here is a lot of the stuff, especially like the drone pod and the pinpoint turret, are probably going to be GA in the CDL. Like a lot of the new things that make this game interesting are probably not going to be in pros because of how they kind of feel unbalanced. And you know, with pros, it's like everything has to be like, it feels like everything has to be perfectly balanced, or else we're not using it at all and it's totally banned. Just like how, you know, smokes and snipers and stuff like that like are constantly getting banned in the CDL. And it's like, first of all, why are we doing that? Okay, snipers and smokes should obviously be in CDL. We want to see that action, but you know, whatever. I just feel like a lot of the new features that are coming to this game that make this game unique from Black Ops 6 are going to be banned. That's bad because it's going to kind of blend with Black Ops 6 in terms of like the type of games we're seeing, especially if they keep Control. Like that's going to make for a poor product, I feel like, because every Call of Duty season, competitive season, should have some unique feel to it as compared to the game should have some unique feel to it, right? And I just feel like that's not really going to happen with the new equipment. So that's another reason I think Overload should take over Control because, or overtake Control, because I want something different. This has to feel like, make me excited for CDL. That's all I'm asking. And if it's just Control and everything gets GA, then I don't care as much. I mean, I do care to some extent, but I wouldn't care as much. Talk zombies. So I do have some zombies gameplay up here for you. But I tell you what, zombies really disappointed me. Zombies was basically Black Ops Cold War. Same old. Nothing has changed since Black Ops Cold War in the zombies department. And I know there's been minor tweaks here and different bosses and blah blah blah. I don't care. It's not good. Okay? I want to play something either original, so like throw me back to like the old school stuff, or give me something new that I haven't seen before. But I feel like this kind of like arcadey, like every round, like rolling round. So it's like, oh, this is the difference between wave 1 and wave 2. Like you don't feel that. You just keep running. The zombies keep coming at you, and the numbers keep going up. Especially there is an accelerated mode. I don't know if this was in the previous game or not. There's an accelerated mode that I played for a little while, not for gameplay purposes, but just to try it out. And you really cannot tell the difference between rounds. You're just running around shooting zombies, and every now and then there's like a 2-second break, and then the zombies are back, and you're just shooting them again. There's really no like feel that's different than Black Ops Cold War. It's the same stuff. And I know this has been going around for a while, but it's all the exact same. When did Cold War even come out? 2020? Yeah, so it's been 5 years of the exact same recycled zombies content, and we haven't got anything new or exciting or interesting. I don't care about the Easter eggs, guys. I don't care. I think there was an Easter egg in this game. There were some areas of the map that, like for the beta, that kind of showed it was giving Easter egg, but I still wasn't really impressed. I honestly don't even know why we had zombies in the open beta, or in the beta. It wasn't open, but in the beta. And the reason I don't understand why we even had it is because it didn't offer us anything new or exciting. The map was really small. They never changed it, unless it changed today for Wednesday, but that wouldn't even make any sense for just the last day. So it wasn't really exciting. The map was Green Run Farm, reworked and changed, and it kind of gave the feel of like a custom zombies map, you know, in like Black Ops 3, like you have those custom zombies maps, and it felt like a rework of Farm, but it didn't really feel new or fresh. It just kind of felt like a sad version of Farm. That's what I felt. I also didn't really care for the boss too much. It was interesting. The boss is like a bear with like beehives crawling out of his skin, and he would like swat the ground and make like a hive zone. So if you walked in that area, you'd get like really damaged. That was kind of interesting because it changed how you would do trains and how you would avoid the zombies. But I don't know. If that's the only thing that was kind of interesting about the zombies experience, it wasn't that great. I'm being honest. The next thing here we have is the Transit remaster. So because we had Farm, I'm thinking full Transit remaster in the new engine with the new stuff. Now, that is something I would be willing to play because I've been kind of low-key asking for a Transit remaster in an engine that can actually handle what the original vision was. Now, would the original vision be fulfilled here? No, obviously not, because we're playing Cold War Zombies for the 5th year in a row. But I do think that having a Transit remaster would be really cool. I know everybody hated that map back in the day, but I want something, okay? I want something back that reminds me, at least in part, of the good old days. Please sell me nostalgia. Activision, please. Do it right, please. That's all I'm saying. So that's kind of like the last point. The whole having the farm there kind of like made me think, maybe they will do it. They will go the full Transit remaster route and then just add more stuff and make it more exciting or interesting. Please take the denizens out in the fog and just make it like a giant map. I'd be willing and down for that, but I don't want it to be as big as those DMZ maps. So, you know, I don't think I'm going to get what I want ultimately, but if I do, I'll let you know. I'll make a video about it, of course. So, anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts. That's everything I have that I wrote down here for Call of Duty Black Ops 7, the beta review. In general, what do we think about this? Well, I liked it, but as a game, I don't know if I liked it as a Call of Duty game, if that makes any sense. Like, did I technically play better than I did for Battlefield 6? Yes. Is Battlefield 6 more interesting? Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, again, this is just like reworked Call of Duty, but it's not new. It's not. It's basically the same. So, like, you can go on Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, maybe even like the 2019 Modern Warfare. That Modern Warfare 2, the game came after that, and you have the same experience. You will ultimately the same sort of graphics. The same sort of matchmaking, the same sort of gunplay, Black Ops 6, the same sort of movement. You know, it's really every year they're doing the Madden thing. You know, they're doing the Madden thing. They're giving you a little bit different than what you had last year, but fundamentally it's the exact same product, and that doesn't really work with me. You know, I'm not really vibing with that too much. So. Yeah, I might do some more side-by-side comparisons of experience I have in Black Ops 7 and Battlefield 6, because now that we confirm I will be buying that game. So we'll see, you know, we'll see down the road, you know, in 6 months, you know, or in 2026 by the time there, after we've been playing both games for a little while, like, hey, you know, here it is. Of course, if this video comes out on Friday, I'm pretty sure this is when Black Ops 6 or Battlefield 6 comes out today, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I won't be getting it today on release day. I'll be waiting a little while just to see and just to get some of that money up, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so as far as Black Ops 7, if you really like Black Ops, if you really miss Black Ops 2 and you haven't played a game since Modern Warfare 2019, go ahead, pick it up. Otherwise, it's not going to be that different, I'm being honest, especially if you're a Zombies guy. If you're a Zombies guy, you're probably extremely disappointed about this. I sure was, you know, because the first thing that got me into Black Ops was the Zombies. You know, first thing that got me into COD was survival mode on Modern Warfare 3, but first thing that got me into Black Ops was Zombies. And this is the same recycled Zombies since Cold War, since 2020. So we've been playing the same game for 5 years, and I'm kind of over it, if I'm being honest. So yeah, that's pretty much all the thoughts I have. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, follow me on social media. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next one.